Back with us on the SportsMax Zone. West Indies have named a 13-man squad for the first test against South Africa starting Thursday at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium in St. Lucia. Craig Brathwaite, Jermaine Blackwood, Nkrumah Bonner, Roston Chase, Rakeem Cornwall, Joshua De Silva, Jason Holder, Shea Hope, Alzarri Joseph, Kyle Mayers, Kyron Powell, Kemar Roach, I must remind myself, and Jaden See all in the team. Former vice captain Roston Chase, openers Shea Hope and Kyron Powell have been recalled to the squad, while 19-year-old Trinidadian Jaden See is the only newbie in the selection. Darren Bravo, Shannon Gabriel, Jamel Warrican and John Campbell have all lost out on the part of Gabriel. It's because of an injury, we understand. The lead selector, Roger Harper, says those selected are expected to build on recent momentum. He says the aim is to continue to build on the performances of the last two test series and keep improving as a test team. We must continue the process of working hard, playing with great passion, playing with determination and a great desire to succeed. Doing that consistently will bring us the right results. So we have a squad at hand. Who better to talk to us about the squad than that gentleman, Fazeer Mohammed. Fazeer, welcome again to the SportsMax Zone. Good to talk to you as usual.
Always good to be on the show, gentlemen.
All right. So the 13 names are in. Any issue with any of those in the selection?
No, not really. I think from the moment it became clear that Shannon Gabriel wasn't going to be fit for consideration for this test match, it really became pretty straightforward because given the success of the middle order, the Nkrumah Bonner, Kyle Mayers, you've got Jermaine Blackwood as the vice captain, so he's obviously, unless something really dramatic happens, he's going to be in the squad as well. There was really not going to be any place for someone like a Darren Bravo, for example. So then you've got a place for Jaden See to be considered. The toss-up, I suspect, will be between the opening options. Will it be Kyron Powell, the left-hander, to go with the right-hander Craig Brathwaite, or will it be Shea Hope, who made his test debut 6 years ago as an opening batsman alongside Craig Brathwaite in Barbados against England? And then the bowling lineup. And again, that is going to be determined, no doubt, closer to the start of play on Thursday morning. Depending on the conditions, will they go with the extra fast bowler that could bring Jaden See into the consideration? Will they go with the additional all-round capabilities of a Roston Chase with his off-spin as well? So that's how I see the combinations working as to who are the two who are going to be left out on Thursday morning.
The young man Seals, Fazeer, for those around the region who, outside of TT of course, who wouldn't know much about him, give us an overall assessment of Jaden See. What does he bring to the table?
He brings genuine pace, tremendous ability. For those who would recall the Under-19 World Cup of last year, he, together with Joshua John and the other bowlers in the West Indies lineup, should have taken them past New Zealand at the knockout stage of the competition, which would have seen them get to the semi-finals. It didn't happen, but he's sufficiently impressed all with not just his energy, not just his pace, but his attitude. He's earned himself a contract with the Trinbago Knight Riders in the Caribbean Premier League. He's someone who's seen to be a tremendous talent for the future. Whether he has the work in him already to get a test match debut with only one first-class game to his name remains to be seen. But he did enough to impress in that intra-squad 4-day warm-up match at the Darren Sammy Stadium over the weekend, picked up 4 wickets in the second innings. He, I'm sure, is going to be eager if he gets the opportunity, but he might just be lacking in that experience, given what is required when you talk about Test cricket to come into the final 11.
Fazeer, my colleagues at the SportsMax Zone have made me feel a bit mean-spirited at the point when I told them several months ago, maybe 18 months ago, that Alzarri Joseph just hasn't impressed me as a test-fast bowler. And 18 months on from when I made that statement, I referenced it this morning in a conversation, and they were saying, well, you know, we can see what you were saying 18 months ago. Where do you stand on Alzarri and his potency, his best fit as a West Indies fast bowler? Test cricket?
Well, I didn't have to be eavesdropping on that staff meeting to know that you are mean-spirited in many ways in that regard. You are brutal, and there's no other way to put it. But I get your point, because I think by now we would have expected Alzarri Joseph to progress a lot faster and a lot more. He has the potential, he has the ability with the bat as well. There's no gainsaying that. But you're right, and I think this might be maybe another opportunity for him to prove his worth. Or who knows, they might say, look, we've got Jaden See here, we've got a 19-year-old who is keen, who's hungry, who's ready to take his chance. Are you ready to take yours or be pushed aside to accommodate a Jaden See? So again, it's an interesting dynamic, because as you said, when you look at someone with an Alzarri Joseph and his ability, the fact that he was part of that successful under-19 World Cup team, all of 5 years ago now, you would think by now, notwithstanding his injuries, that he would have progressed a bit further. And I don't think he necessarily got the best use of his time with the English county Worcestershire. And again, that is also going to be considered as to whether or not he makes the final 11. But as much as I'm reluctant to say, I do take your point.
Yeah, Faz, we certainly hope that young Seals can progress as a fast bowler, because as you talk about Alzarri, he was brought into the West Indies as a 19-year-old, just like Jaden Seals is, and we hope that Jaden can become one of the top fast bowlers for the West Indies as a TNT man, because I would think Ian Bishop holds the mantle as being TNT's most outstanding fast bowler, although there have been others who have played Test cricket as fast bowlers. But the squad that was reduced to 13, how satisfied are you with this 13 and looking at the players who were left out? Because we're 2 days away from this Test match now, so the players need to be getting themselves ready mentally for an application that will be needed against the South African team that isn't bad.
It isn't bad, but South Africa have been struggling. It's not so much an issue of their ranking, but they've had an issue with they've lost a number of key players. They've just lost their regular Test captain, Faf du Plessis, who's given up on the traditional version of the game. But to answer your specific question, I really didn't see the point of selecting a 17, because when you really looked at it, you told yourself, well, when you looked at that 17, you knew that there are certain players there who really would not be in the reckoning when you come down to 13, because it just seems to be fulfilling some sort of, I don't know, requirement or some obligation of providing information that really wasn't necessary, because it would have already come down to this 13 that we have on the screen right now, because so many of those players who will be on the fringe would have been on the fringe anyway. So I didn't really see any tremendous issue with the 13 that would have been selected. I think it more or less selected itself, given that they've been the nucleus of the team over the last 4 Test matches and they've played unbeaten. You're right, South Africa are going to be a different sort of challenge. They are themselves working their way back upwards. They're ranked number 7. They lost 2 Test matches heavily in Pakistan. They're going to probably give a debut to middle order batsman Keegan Peterson. But just to give you a context, Keegan Peterson, 27 years of age, has played 97 first-class matches.
Wow.
South Africa, and not too many of the established West Indies players have played 97 first-class matches. But having said all of that, it is going to be an intriguing duel, because South Africa are themselves pulling and tugging with their squad for different reasons that have to do with the ethnic composition of their squad. And we all know the dialogue that has been going on with that over the last 30 years since their readmission. So it makes for a very interesting set of circumstances going into this Test series.
Yeah, Buju Banton said in a song, Fazeer, when elephants play, the grass gets trampled. Don't know if when these 2 Test teams clash, the grass will be trampled, but it will be compelling viewing nonetheless, I'm hoping. Thank you for your time. All the best as usual.
I think they'll be happy to be considered elephants in the international game right now.
All right, my friend. All right. This WhatsApp question for our viewers for our interactive segment. It's a straightforward question. Will Shannon Gabriel's injury-enforced absence affect the Windies in the first Test against South Africa is the question. Send us your voice note and we'll play it in interactive on today's show.